Yes, this is absolutely true. If you casually ask a girl these 7 questions in the way we suggest, she will 100% propose to you herself. After that, you will easily be able to build a relationship with her, and she will become deeply attached to you. Friends, after watching this video, your problem of how to make a girl fall for you will be solved forever. It's a fact that every guy has feelings for a girl at some point, but he never expresses them. He keeps her image in his heart, loving her from a distance. Love is a mysterious thing. It can happen at any moment, with anyone without warning. But while love has immense power, it also has a weakness. When you fall for a girl, you constantly wonder, how can I express my feelings to her? The biggest fear is rejection. You want to propose to her, but you're terrified that she might say no. The pain of rejection from the girl you truly love is worse than death. That's why most guys secretly wish that the girl herself would confess her love first, and believe it or not, this can actually happen quite easily. There's nothing surprising about it. It's very simple. However, the biggest challenge is that you need to know how to impress a girl with your words. Girls are highly emotional and their moods change frequently. That's why talking to them in the right way is crucial. If you make a girl feel emotionally connected to you, there is a 100% chance she will confess her feelings first. A girl will only propose to a guy when she feels that he understands her better than anyone else. She needs to believe that he cares for her, pays attention to even the smallest details of her life, and truly values her presence. Once a girl feels a deep emotional connection with a guy, she won't hesitate to make him hers. So if you're excited to make a girl say I love you to you first, then you need to use some clever techniques and remember these 7 key questions. These will help you create a special place in her heart, gradually making her fall for you. Question 1. How are you so beautiful? Asking a female this question will cause her to grin timidly, tuck her hair behind her ear, and perhaps flush. Say something like, wow, you're even cuter when you do that, as soon as she performs this. Because of this, she will feel extra important to you. Compliments are a girl's best friend, and every female secretly wishes someone will notice and appreciate her attractiveness. A female will begin to pay attention to you when you really praise her appearance. In this way, she will feel appreciated and unique. Her emotional inclination toward you will increase, and she will begin to confide in you shortly after this. Question 2. What is your favorite place? Though seemingly innocuous at first glance, this inquiry has far-reaching psychological implications. By inquiring as to a girl's favorite spot, you open the door for her to share her hopes, desires, and personal preferences. Because of this, she feels heard and valued. When she starts to confide in you about her favorite spots, she'll unconsciously link you with someone who values her opinion. Her confidence in you will grow. You may learn a lot about her character from her statements about her favorite destinations, such the mountains, the beach, or areas where she can relax in peace and quiet. Afterwards, you may utilize this data to establish more profound emotional bonds. Just pretend she gushes about the seashore. Have you ever fantasized of being alone with a loved one? While you watch the sun go down on a deserted beach, feeling the gentle sway of the ocean waves? She will take a moment to consider this question. Girls are naturally guarded about the people they confide in and the things they hope to achieve in life. She could respond, I haven't really thought about it, if she hasn't considered this previously. Do not allow the discussion to conclude at this time. I have unlimited time to get to know you better, so I'll just tell you to take your time and think about it. By saying this, you may show her how much you value her aspirations for the future. Soon she'll realize how much you care for her. When she realizes that, she will begin to value you as an individual. Beck, what's something you've never told anyone? Have you ever kept a secret that was so private and profound that no one knew about it? Perhaps it was a loss from which you never fully recovered. It may have been a betrayal, a moment of weakness, or an unfulfilled desire. Picture this. Someone stares deeply into your eyes and says, tell me something you've never told anyone. What comes up after this? You feel a sudden racing heart. Feelings of panic wash over you. You begin to question whether or not to speak it. Does this individual have my trust? This is the precise result of posing this question to a female. Please don't take this question lightly. Dude, this isn't fluff. This is a chance to see her spirit. Most individuals only discuss superficial topics, like their day, their favorite foods, and their dream vacation spots. However, she abruptly recognizes that you're unique when you inquire about this. At first, she may be hesitant, Uncomfortably, she may laugh. But if you state, "It's all right, I won't judge. All I want is to know who you really are," suddenly she stops talking. At that same second, her heart begins to open. She could open up about a devastating loss that broke her heart. A desire she held in the past but was compelled to abandon. A tearjerker from her youth that she can't shake. Her feelings for you will become stronger the more she expresses them. Why, simply said, we begin to trust someone when we let our guard down around them. Trust is the bedrock upon which love rests. Listen up, once she spills the beans, you can't merely say, "Wow, that's crazy." As an alternative, add, "You know, I think that makes you even more amazing." Most people hide their pain, but you embraced it. And that's rare. She will feel understood when it happens. Why do I feel so safe with him? Why do I want to tell him everything? She will begin to wonder. He will become her rock. And then she begins to develop romantic feelings for you. Love isn't about saying, "I love you." It's about creating an indescribable bond that makes the other person feel lost without you. What about this particular inquiry? It establishes that bond. 4. What's one thing you wish guys understood about girls? This one is really strong now. Almost of males are clueless when it comes to women's desires. They jump to conclusions. Presumptions hold water for them. However, what is real? Being misunderstood is a common experience for most women. They believe that males are superficially interested in appearances and do not pay attention when women speak. Nobody seems to care enough to make an effort to comprehend them, they feel. Asking a lady, "What's one thing you wish guys understood about girls?" may be really awkward. A complete shift occurs in her body language. She feels heard all of a sudden. Sighing, she could remark, "I wish guys knew that sometimes we just want to be listened to, not fixed." Or you might say, "I wish guys knew that even the strongest girls still need reassurance." Perhaps, "I wish guys knew that we overthink everything. Even a small text can keep us up at night." Listen carefully to what she says, considering that she is unveiling a profound aspect of her personality at that very moment. The next step is to affirm her emotions. Put it this way, that makes so much sense. I think a lot of guys don't realize how important these things are, but honestly, I respect that you shared this with me. It shows how much you think about love. A change hits her right then. A realization dawns on her. He's different from other men. And believe me when I say that a girl would do everything to hold on to you, if she thinks you're special. Simply said, every woman wants a partner who truly understands her, someone who pays attention, someone who accepts her without judgment. Not only will she like you, but she will begin to fantasize about a future spent with you once she begins to feel that way about you. 5. What's the one thing that makes you feel most alive? Put your eyes closed for a brief moment. Consider the last time your pulse was pounding faster than usual. In that moment when the passage of time seemed to stand still and the world seemed ideal. When was the first time you and someone you cared about held hands? When you kissed in the rain, did it feel like everything else faded away? Or was it the night you felt like anything might happen? While you sat on the beach and watched the waves, you know what makes you really alive? It's the one thing that everyone possesses. In addition to probing a girl's interests, this inquiry forces her to confront her deepest, darkest feelings. A lot of males will ask, "What do you like to do in your free time?" But it's rather dull. Any response from her will be superficial, like "I enjoy music," "I watch Netflix," or "I love traveling." A question like, "What brings out the best in you?" Dug deep she must. For a moment she may hesitate. As she becomes engrossed in a recollection, she may even grin. Subsequently, she informs you, "You know, I feel most alive when I dance alone in my room, without a care in the world. Perhaps I feel alive when I stand on a mountaintop, the wind in my hair, feeling like I conquered something impossible. Perhaps it's when I'm driving at night, my favorite song playing, the city lights blurring past me, and she's yours now." Attachment is a result of feelings. She seems to be reliving the events as she recounts them, and when she relives those moments with you, she begins to link those intense feelings to you. However, things improve from here on out. Listen carefully and don't disregard her warnings. Try leaning close and saying instead, "I love that. I can actually picture you doing that." You know what's crazy? I think the moments that make us feel alive say so much about who we really are. Holy cow! She is now considering others as well as herself. Rest assured you are on her mind. What makes him feel alive? She begins to think. Plus that inquisitiveness, that's when attraction begins. Because winning someone's favor isn't the only goal of love. It's all about evoking such a strong emotional response that they begin to include you into their narrative, and thus love is born. 6. If you could relive one moment in your life, what would it be? This question now? There is no one quite like this. Because let's face it, we all have those moments, the one evening they wish they could relive. They still fantasize about that one individual. That carefree moment before love became a source of suffering, when they were both completely happy. Perhaps this is the first time you've ever experienced love. For that split second when you met her gaze, you knew, this is it. This is what love feels like. However, a change occurred thereafter. Perhaps she bolted. Perhaps there was a shift. Perhaps because of other forces at work in your life. That particular time is now but a distant memory. If you had the chance to return, would you? You would relive the experience if given the chance. And you know what? She shares my sentiments. Your question should be, if you could relive one moment in your life, what would it be? It's like unlocking a door, a gateway to her history, the gateway to her feelings, a gateway to her soul. Take note of what transpires now. With a pause, she continues. For an instant, she averts her gaze, then she cracks a smile, but it isn't your average grin. A smile like that may conceal a lifetime of experiences. Afterwards, she informs you. There was this one summer night. I was with someone I really cared about, and we just sat under the stars talking about life. I felt like nothing could ever go wrong. Or perhaps she adds, it was my childhood, running through the fields, feeling free before I had to grow up. Perhaps it was the day I achieved something I never thought I could. The moment I proved to myself that I was enough. And what she's telling you is more than simply a tale. Everything is hitting her hard again. She is fully present at that same second. Plus, when she tells you about it, her brain learns to associate those feelings with you. However, the most important thing is this now. Say more than, that's beautiful when she shares her moment with you. Substitute this with, you know what's crazy? The fact that you remember it so vividly means it wasn't just a moment, it was a part of who you are, and I think that's beautiful. Then what? Something strong has been born from your hands, for the simple reason that she feels watched. She thinks you have an uncanny knack for getting her. When she starts to think about it, though, why do I feel so safe with him? Why do I want to tell him everything? What happens when a lady has such feelings? Her stumbles become more noticeable, regardless of how attractive you are. Not due to your financial situation. However, you succeeded in making her feel something that nobody else could. And isn't that the essence of love? But what's the one thing you've never told anyone? I have a question for you. Can you remember a time when you were too afraid to tell someone about a very personal secret you were carrying? Something in one's recollection? Something to be regretted? An experience that altered your course in life? Perhaps you were secretly in love with her the first time it happened. It may have been when someone hurt your feelings, but you pretended it didn't bother you. Alternatively, perhaps you've always felt you lacked the appropriate person to confide in about a traumatic event from your past, even if it had a profound impact on who you are now. Let your mind wander to a scenario where you are asked, what's something you've never shared with anyone? Were you to say something? Would you just pretend that didn't happen? Or maybe you'd have an overwhelming sense of relief, as if a voice within you were to murmur, at last, someone who wants to understand me. In fact, that is the precise result of posing this question to a female. Because let's face it, everyone is dragging around some kind of load. Perhaps they had a brief romance, but he never reciprocated her feelings. Perhaps someone she had faith in turned out to betray her. It is be that she is too timid to express her aspirations, since they are so lofty and seemingly unreachable. However, when you inquire, what is something you have never shared with anyone? With a pause, she continues, as she bites her lip and asks herself, should I really say this? She briefly averts her gaze. Oh, and that reluctance? Yes, that is all. Just then she had the epiphany. I feel safe with him. Finally, when does a woman feel secure? You will be the one she confides in when she feels safe enough to tell you everything. Her stumbles become more noticeable, not because of your good looks. Having money is not the reason. However, you succeeded in making her feel something that nobody else could. I have a story to tell you. One man, let's call him Arjun, was there. His conversation with a girl had lasted for months. She exuded confidence and radiated beauty, yet I couldn't help but feel removed from her. He asked her, "What's something you've never shared with anyone?" As they strolled under the city lights one night. Initially, she chuckled. It was an attempt, she remarked, shaking her head. She grew silent after that. After a lengthy period of silence, she said, "I was in love once, and I thought he loved me too. But one day he just disappeared. No goodbye, no explanation, just gone. And to this day I still wonder, was I not enough?" Pay close attention, this was a watershed event. Just by saying, "Damn, that sucks," Arjun could have ended the conversation abruptly. But he met her gaze and spoke, "You know what's crazy? The fact that you still wonder about it means it wasn't just about him. It was about you believing in love. And I think that's beautiful." And right there, something altered. She wasn't simply talking anymore. She was feeling. And when you make a lady feel, when you make her open up in a manner she never has before, her perception of you begins to shift. She develops feelings for you. Because all women long for a man who can perceive more than just her grin. A guy who isn't hesitant to probe for the truth. If you are that guy, though, when you approach her with the unique inquiry that no one else has, she won't converse with you casually. You will win her heart. Causes for success and failure in this area. The hard reality is that most guys seldom go farther than small talk. They discuss the upcoming weather. The question then turns to her favorite film. They seem to assume that praising her good appearance is sufficient. However, at her core, every woman longs for the day when someone will take the time to understand her. That special someone who makes her pause and realize, wow, no one has ever asked me that before, by asking the question that no one else has. Because what happens when she divulges information that no one else knows? She's not only speaking to you verbally, a part of her spirit is being offered to you. After that, though, somehow she feels a bond with you. Now I have a question for you. Is this a question that anyone has ever asked you? What is the one secret you've never shared with anyone? If you had to answer this question right this second, consider it. Knowing someone isn't a prerequisite for love. Comprehending them is the key. What if you have an insight into her that no one else has? She will hold on to you forever. Conclusion. Loving someone isn't about running after them. They should know better than to risk losing you, and that is the point. A girl will feel more than just a passing attraction to you if you ask her these 7 questions correctly. She will be unable to resist the allure of being at your side once that occurs. So I want to know, has somebody ever loved you but not returned the feeling? Have you ever experienced the agony of anticipating a text message that never arrived? In such case, perhaps, a shift in strategy is in order. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.